There are players who win trophies, and then there are players who change football forever. Cristiano Ronaldo belongs to the second category. Throughout his legendary career, he broke records that many believed would never be broken. He became the all-time leading goal scorer in international football, won 5 Ballon d'Or awards, lifted 5 UEFA Champions League trophies, and conquered England, Spain, and Italy. Millions of fans consider him one of the greatest players to ever step onto a football pitch. But despite all those incredible achievements, there was one trophy that always remained just beyond his reach: the FIFA World Cup. For Cristiano Ronaldo, the World Cup was never just another competition. It was the dream that had lived inside him since childhood. Every young footballer dreams of lifting the famous golden trophy, but for Ronaldo, it meant something even bigger. It wasn't just about personal glory. It was about making history for Portugal and giving his country a moment they would never forget. Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro was born on February 5, 1985, on the small Portuguese island of Madeira. Life was far from easy. His family struggled financially, and success seemed almost impossible. But even as a young boy, Ronaldo believed he was different. While other children played football for fun, he treated every match like a final. His speed, determination, and unbelievable work ethic quickly made him stand out. At the age of just 12, Ronaldo left his family behind and moved to Lisbon to join Sporting CP's academy. It was one of the hardest decisions of his life. Living away from home at such a young age wasn't easy, but Ronaldo knew that sacrifices were necessary if he wanted to become the best. Day after day, he trained harder than everyone else. Coaches were amazed not only by his talent, but also by his hunger to improve. Everything changed in 2003 when Sporting CP faced Manchester United in a pre-season friendly. Ronaldo's dazzling skills left United's defenders completely helpless. After the match, Manchester United's players reportedly urged Sir Alex Ferguson to sign the young Portuguese winger immediately. Ferguson listened. Just days later, Ronaldo became a Manchester United player, beginning one of the greatest careers football has ever seen. Under Sir Alex Ferguson, Ronaldo transformed from a talented teenager into a world-class superstar. He became stronger, faster, and more clinical in front of goal. Season after season, he improved every part of his game. In 2008, he won his first Ballon d'Or after leading Manchester United to Champions League glory. The football world had found its next global superstar. A year later, Real Madrid made him the most expensive footballer in history. Wearing the famous white shirt, Ronaldo reached levels few players have ever achieved. He scored goals at an unbelievable rate, shattered countless records, and won 4 more Champions League titles. Alongside Lionel Messi, he dominated world football for more than a decade. By then, Ronaldo had already achieved almost everything possible at club level. But international football was different. No matter how many goals he scored for his clubs, Ronaldo knew that true immortality required one more achievement: winning the FIFA World Cup with Portugal. His first opportunity came in Germany in 2006. At just 21 years old, Ronaldo helped to be made. Portugal played with confidence throughout the tournament, and Ronaldo showed flashes of the greatness that would later define his career. But standing between Portugal and the World Cup final was France, led by the legendary Zinedine Zidane. The match was tense, with both teams fighting for a place in the biggest game in football. In the end, a single penalty from Zidane proved enough. Portugal lost 1-0, and Ronaldo's first World Cup dream came to an emotional end. It was painful, but nobody believed it would be his last chance. He was young, talented, and destined for greatness. Most football fans expected him to return stronger in 4 years' time. By the time the 2010 FIFA World Cup arrived in South Africa, Cristiano Ronaldo was no longer just a rising star. He was one of the biggest footballers on the planet. Expectations were enormous. Portugal had one of the world's best players, and millions believed he could finally lead his country to World Cup glory. Portugal reached the round of 16, where they faced their biggest rivals, Spain. It was more than just a knockout match. It was a battle between two footballing giants. Ronaldo fought until the very end, creating chances and inspiring his teammates, but Spain's incredible passing game eventually made the difference. David Villa scored the only goal of the match, ending Portugal's World Cup journey once again. As Ronaldo walked off the pitch, disappointment filled his face. Another 4 years had passed, and the greatest prize in football remained out of reach. But one thing was certain: Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't ready to give up. Cristiano Ronaldo refused to let disappointment define him. After the 2010 FIFA World Cup, he returned stronger than ever, breaking records almost every single season. At Real Madrid, he became a goal-scoring machine, winning Champions League titles and Ballon d'Or awards. Around the world, many believed the next World Cup would finally be his moment. Portugal had one of the greatest players in football history, and fans dreamed of seeing their captain lift the most prestigious trophy in the sport. When the 2014 FIFA World Cup arrived in Brazil, expectations were enormous. Ronaldo entered the tournament carrying both the hopes of Portugal and the pressure of being the world's biggest football star. However, things went wrong from the very beginning. Portugal suffered a devastating 4-0 defeat against Germany in their opening match. Injuries, suspensions, and poor performances left the team struggling to recover. Ronaldo continued to fight despite playing through physical pain, but one player could not carry an entire nation alone. Portugal failed to reach the knockout stages, and another World Cup dream disappeared. Most players would have accepted defeat after so many disappointments, but Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't like most players. He continued working harder than ever before. In 2016, he finally gave Portugal one of the greatest moments in their football history by winning the UEFA European Championship. Although he was forced off injured during the final against France, Ronaldo inspired his teammates from the sidelines as Portugal lifted their first major international trophy. For many fans, it proved that if Portugal could become European champions, perhaps they could also become world champions. 2 years later, Russia hosted the 2018 FIFA World Cup, and Ronaldo arrived in sensational form at 33 years old. Many believed this could be his final realistic opportunity to win football's greatest prize. He immediately reminded the world why he was considered one of the greatest players ever. In Portugal's opening match against Spain, Ronaldo produced one of the greatest individual performances in World Cup history. He scored an incredible hat-trick, including a stunning late free kick that secured a dramatic 3-3 draw. Millions of fans believed Portugal finally had the leader capable of taking them all the way. Portugal successfully reached the round of 16, but standing in their way was Uruguay. Once again, Ronaldo gave everything he had, constantly pushing his teammates forward and searching for the breakthrough. However, Uruguay's disciplined defense and 2 brilliant goals from Edinson Cavani ended Portugal's journey. Ronaldo walked off the pitch with another painful elimination, knowing that time was slowly running out. Every World Cup came only once every 4 years, and football never waits for anyone. Despite the heartbreak, Ronaldo refused to retire from international football. He continued breaking records, becoming the highest goalscorer in men's international football history and inspiring a new generation of Portuguese players. His determination never changed, and neither did his dream. One final opportunity still remained. The 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar would almost certainly be his last chance to achieve the one goal that had escaped him throughout his extraordinary career. As Portugal arrived in Qatar, the entire football world watched closely. Everyone knew this tournament could become the perfect ending to Ronaldo's legendary story, or perhaps its most heartbreaking chapter, as Portugal walked onto the pitch for what could be Cristiano Ronaldo's final FIFA World Cup match. The weight of an entire career rested on his shoulders. This wasn't just another game. It was the last opportunity to complete football's greatest story. For more than 20 years, Ronaldo had conquered every challenge placed in front of him. He had become a 5-time Ballon d'Or winner, lifted 5 Champions League trophies, broken hundreds of records, and inspired millions around the world. But there was still one dream left unfinished. When the match began, Ronaldo fought with the same passion that had defined his entire career. Every run, every pass, and every shot carried the hopes of an entire nation. Even at 41 years old, he refused to stop believing. He encouraged his teammates, chased every ball, and gave everything he had. But football has always been unpredictable. Sometimes the better story isn't the one that gets written. Portugal's dream came to an end after a heartbreaking defeat. As the final whistle echoed around the stadium, the players collapsed onto the pitch. The celebrations belonged to the opposition, while Portugal stood frozen in silence. Cameras immediately turned toward Cristiano Ronaldo. He didn't argue with the referee. He didn't complain. He simply stood there, staring into the distance, knowing that the dream he had chased since childhood had finally slipped away forever. For millions of fans watching around the world, it was one of the saddest moments in football history. Supporters who had followed Ronaldo's journey for more than 2 decades knew exactly what that moment meant. They weren't just watching Portugal lose a football match. They were watching the final chapter of one of the greatest careers the sport had ever seen. As Ronaldo slowly walked off the pitch, memories of his incredible journey flashed through the minds of football fans. The young boy from Madeira who dreamed of becoming the best, the teenager who dazzled at Sporting CP, the superstar who conquered Manchester United, Real Madrid, Juventus, and later continued inspiring fans around the world. Every sacrifice, every goal, every celebration, and every record had led to this moment. Many people judge greatness by trophies alone. If that were true, football would never remember the players who inspired generations. Cristiano Ronaldo's story is much bigger than one missing World Cup trophy. He proved that talent means nothing without discipline. He showed that hard work can turn impossible dreams into reality. Every training session, every comeback after criticism, and every moment of determination became an example for young players across the world. Today, children in almost every country still copy his famous Siu celebration. Young footballers wear the number 7 because of him. Millions of fans started playing football after watching Cristiano Ronaldo perform miracles on the pitch. His influence extends far beyond statistics and medals. There will always be debates about who is the greatest footballer of all time. Some will choose Pelé, others will choose Diego Maradona, Lionel Messi, or Cristiano Ronaldo. But one thing is certain, very few athletes have inspired the world the way Cristiano Ronaldo has. The FIFA World Cup was the one trophy that escaped him. It became the unfinished chapter in an otherwise legendary career. Yet history will never remember Cristiano Ronaldo as the player who failed to win the World Cup. History will remember him as one of the greatest competitors football has ever seen, a player who refused to give up, no matter how many times life knocked him down. Because in the end, legends are not defined by the trophies they miss. They are remembered for the lives they change, the records they break, the memories they create, and the inspiration they leave behind. Cristiano Ronaldo may never have lifted the FIFA World Cup, but he lifted the dreams of millions. And that is a legacy that no trophy can ever replace.